Okay, so here we go with the next mission of Bleak Falls Barrow. We've just entered the temple now. I'm taking out my sword because I know for a fact behind these two columns in front of us there is a couple of enemies, so I'm just going to dispatch them first off, and we'll go from there.
Is someone there?
Over here!
Our monster!
Skyrim belongs to the North! Sovereign wrath awaits!
So as you would have seen just before I got rid of these guys, an intersecting crest began called the Golden Claw. Now you won't actually need the Golden Claw, is actually a Golden Claw to get through the rest of the temple and get to where you need to be. So we will be finding that a little bit later on in the game. So here we're going to go have another go at this lock picking. It's quite an easy lock. We'll open up this chest and grab the goodies from inside. Again, always grab the gold, because you will need gold later on. That dead skeever there is setting alarm bells ringing for me. If this was the first time that I'm playing it, obviously I know what's coming up just around the corner, so I know that I've got to be ready. Basically we're going to be introduced to a new enemy called the Dragar. These are essentially the living dead, and they will come back and they will keep coming at you until you're gone. But we do first off have a bandit up here which is going to try and get the treasure which he wants. He's going to pull that lever and he's going to be impaled to death by a load of arrows. Very Tomb Raider-esque there, so just hold back until they've all finished and go back into this room here. So if you look on in front of us, you've got a snake on a tablet. Just take a couple of bits from him here. And if you look above, there's another snake and a dolphin, and these correspond to these stones down here. So we're just going to turn them around so they match up in sequence of what is on the wall above us, and that will allow us to activate the lever and open up the gate in front of us there without getting shot to death by a bunch of arrows like this guy over here. And there we go, so we've had a level up. So we will have hopefully a lot of level ups throughout this playthrough, so we're going to keep going with them. Going to raid as much as we can from this chest, as much as we can carry. Any gems that you can get it, because you will actually need some lesser soul gems a little bit later on in the game. But you've got to be careful going down this staircase, because as you go around here, you're going to be attacked by some vicious little cookies, which are some skeevers. They're the live ones there. So the voice that you can hear is someone that's trapped, which we're going to have to rescue in a moment. All these spider webs should be ringing alarm bells for you if you haven't played the game before. It basically means you're going to face what used to be called back in the 90s a boss, and that is a massive spider which is going to try and kill you. It's going to shoot some paralysis poison at you as well, so the best thing to do is fight it just like I'm going to.
Keep it away from me! Get it away from me! Get it away! Don't let it get me! Help! Get it away from me! Get it away! Get it away from me! Get it away! Ah! Don't let it get me! Help! Ah! Don't let it get me! Help! Get it away from me! Get it away! Ah! Kill it! Kill it!
The good thing is this is a wounded frostbite spider, so it's already had a little bit of damage done to it, even though its health bar is all the way to the top when you start fighting. This is actually quite a weak boss to fight. Sometimes you will actually get spiders which are almost impossible to fight on your own, and we'll come into that a little bit later on in the game.
Get me down here!
So behind this web here is the guy
You did
which
it,
you need to
you
get
killed
to. His name is Arvel the Swift.
Cut me down.
So we
Yes,
need
the claw.
to try
I know
and
how
get him
it
out of
works.
this web here.
The claw, the markings, the door in the Hall of Stories. I know how they all fit together. Help me down and I'll show you. You won't believe the power the Nords have hidden there. Does it look like I can move? You have to cut me down first. Ah! It's coming loose. I can feel it. You fool.
And lo and behold, you cut down this guy, and the gratitude he gives you is running away. So the best thing you can do is try and get him. You don't need to keep him alive, just kill him because he has exactly what you want. He's got the golden claw. So let's kill him and let's pick up what we need. So here we are, you can see something stirring in the background there, so I'm just going to get my sparks back. It is a Dragar. Now the Dragar is going to come at you. He does have a shield and sword, so he will come straight for you and try to take as much as possible. But first off, I'm just going to sort out my level up capabilities here and go to Novice Destruction, which means I can cast Novice level spells with half the magicka. So now, here he comes, here's the Dragar. There will be quite a lot of difficulties to make sure that you are fighting them from a distance if possible, because they do come up with a bit of speed. You've got to be very careful not to stand on this little plate in the middle of the floor here, because that door which you just saw swing is covered with spikes and it will kill you pretty much instantly. So try to avoid that if you can, but it is quite useful just around this corner here because you will get ambushed by another couple of Dragar. So what I generally tend to do is wake them up as I go down this staircase, lure them back up the staircase, and hopefully one of them will stand on the platform and swing that door shut. So let's try and have a go at that one. So here we have the first swing axe corridor. Can be a bit challenging if you've never done it before. The simple thing to do is to wait for the axe which is nearest to you to swing. As soon as it's swung, just sprint forward to get through it. So I've managed to get through that unscathed. There are oil lamps hanging from the ceiling around here. If you change your magicka to flames, you can actually cut them down and set them on fire, which is really handy, although I've just set myself on fire, to try and ward off the Dragar which come out. Now one way to get rid of these Dragar would have been quite good is to run back through the axe corridor. However, if you do that then you don't actually get any points for killing them yourself. So they're not that hard at this point in time in the game, so I just get them really myself. And then obviously there's that oil on the floor which I just showed you. You can set on fire and that will pretty much kill everything in its path. There's a little lamp there, not quite sure what that is. So we're just going to go around this corner and continue taking the gold from the Dragar, because for some reason the skeletons are always buried with gold. So we'll have that and we'll carry on through these corridors. We should be getting to another axe corridor fairly soon. In fact, I can already hear them, so we'll be coming to them fairly shortly. Really, this temple at the moment is just about following the sequential flow of the game. You can't really get lost in this part. It is fairly straightforward. The only thing is there is a lot of enemies which you need to battle just along the way, but it isn't really too challenging. It's not until a bit later on in the game where it does become much more challenging, and the enemies' offensive powers and attack powers are so much more greater than your defensive powers. So at the moment just get a little bit of a feel of it, of what it's going to be like a bit later on. Big tip here is to always search for hidden places which might have a few hidden treasures here. So like here, the obvious solution was to go through the archway there, but I've gone down to underneath the waterfall and I've found this lock to pick. And inside might be a few goodies. So if you can find them, then go for them. But normally there won't be something which is going to try and hinder you. Just be aware that there might be enemies a little bit later on in the game where you might go down there quite innocently to get a bit of gold and some potions out of this chest, and you'll get attacked and you'll die. So it's important as well throughout the game to make sure you're watching if it's auto-saved. If it's not auto-saved, if you think you're going to be in a bit of a precarious situation, then just pause the game and save it. Otherwise you can spend your entire day just going back and doing the same mission over and over, getting back to where you died. Okay, so just through here is a little bit of a pesky little bastard. When I was playing on PC, he actually killed me so many times, but to be honest, I was quite naive. I didn't know that I could use magic then, so I was just chopping away with my sword and trying to hit him with my shield, and I died. So this is a good technique I use for battling enemies like this. I run backwards and I shoot my magic at them, and I can go in for one final lamp of the sword, or I can just continue to use my magic until he's dead. So it's, you can choose whatever way feels best for you. So here we are at the next swinging axe corridor. Again, just treat it exactly the same as last time, just rush through it once the nearest axe to you has swung past. So get ready, get as close as you can, and then swing through. Now there are a lot of Dragar in this room here, there's probably about 4 or 5. Make use of the oil on the floor and especially use some of your magic powers to fight them from a distance. So now we're going to approach the door, which requires you to have the golden claw to progress through to the rest of the mission. As you can see, there's some rings on the outside here. If you actually look on the golden claw which you picked up in your inventory, if you turn it around, you will actually see the combination which is going to open the door for you. So we need to rotate these rings to have the bear on the top, we're going to have the moth in the middle, and then we're going to have the owl on the inside. And once we've done that, we'll go ahead and we'll put the claw into the centre column here in the middle. So this here is the final tomb in Bleak Falls Barrow. And just at the top here we're going to see the coffin, which is what we're going to have to open to make sure we get the dragon stone. That's of course if it's in here. I'm sure it will be, otherwise this whole playthrough would be entirely pointless. And you can hear that music playing because behind us we have a word of power on the wall which we need to absorb. And this is the power of unrelenting force, which will allow us to send a shout out and knock things over pretty much. So there we go, if we walk up to it we've learnt the word of power there, and now we can open up the coffin, which is just over here. Oh look, we don't need to open it because something's come out of it anyway. So this is the Dragon, our overlord, and we need to kill him to make sure we get our dragon stone, which he's obviously holding. And there we have it, we have the Dragonstone now, so we've completed that part of the objective, and we need to return the Dragonstone to Valgar in Dragon's Reach. So that's pretty much the end of this temple here now. I just need to go through and have a look at the inventory here, because my carry weight has gone over 325 as you can see, so I'm going to have to drop something and leave it behind so I can run, because you can take everything with you if you want, but you have to crawl along at a snail's pace. And it will take you forever to get anywhere. That cheeky little platter there is actually a button or a handle which you can press, which will open up this stone wall to allow you to exit towards Skyrim. It's just through here and up into that tunnel there. Just having a look around here for any goodies which might be around. No, there's no more goodies, so we're going to exit to Skyrim now and bring to the close this episode of my Skyrim playthrough. Check back soon for the next episode.